there's just too many little incidents that if you don't add them up, remain little incidents scattered like marbles. And it takes some special effort to start adding them up and say, this is a big story here.
Person comes out of the polls,
and there's somebody there, and they say, "Could we interview you?"
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they give them a ballot, basically, and they fill it in.
So one of the ways of checking what's actually happening in this sort of black box vote counting system, where it's sort of faith-based voting and you don't know really what's happening, would be exit polling. It's been the claim of the exit poll takers that their polls are not intended to serve as a check mechanism.
But in fact, that was the only checks and balances we had with these electronic voting machines. The electronic voting machines have no audit trail, they can't be recounted. We have to have some backup.
The control over the data emerging from that exit poll was in the hands of a media consortium that consisted of the major networks, and so you know there's a great deal of corporate media control of these exit polls.
Every time there were percentages put up there, Kerry was definitely ahead and had the momentum. It was like, he's going to win. This is amazing.
I went on the CNN website, and lo and behold, there were all these exit polls broken down in all sorts of various demographic ways, and I set about downloading them.
So we're looking at the exit polls, and the exit polls clearly showed that John Kerry carried Ohio, which was enough to give him an election, and Iowa, and Nevada, and New Mexico.
And then something happened where the next time it was put on the screen, the percentages and the numbers, it was exactly flipped.
If you were to look on the internet any time after roughly 1 a.m. on the day after the election, the morning after the election, you would see exit poll results which essentially conformed to the vote count. The results that got pulled off the web and pulled away from the public eye that I was able to download and print out showed a discrepancy in the popular vote that was very, very significant.
People in the room got quiet. It was funny because we were all observing this on our own, but collectively, we knew something wasn't right.
Judy Woodruff, help our viewers understand why we're now going back from the too close to call green column to the white column, in which we don't have enough information yet to make any projection.
Well, we're trying to figure all this out right now, Wolf. Apparently what has happened is that the Associated Press, they were feeding numbers into us, and then suddenly those numbers changed. In other words, there was about, I'm told, a 2,000 to 6,000 vote margin between President Bush's position and John Kerry's position. And then that margin grew suddenly to an 11,000 vote margin. And because of that, we now want to make sure, first of all, we want to find out what happened. What I'm telling you is that the numbers changed, and sometimes these things happen.